up all hours of the night.
What do you think you've learned about the principal design process? Can you summarize that?
We learned that a design process, like an effective design process, is very important because it helps us to have efficiently use our time and really do well.
We learned a lot about the engineering design process from the Real World Design Challenge. We learned mostly that it takes a lot of iterations. You do it over and over and over and over and over again and test each one over and over again to make sure you have the most optimal plane you can have.
Why did you pick Fortran for your IBL converter?
We picked Fortran because the programs given to us were easily scripted in Fortran, and we could look at them as an example and then model our program after that.
If you had disagreements within your team on how to proceed, how did you overcome those differences?
Well, we did have a lot of disagreements because we have many different personality types in our group. But what we did was we would talk with our mentors and our coaches, and we would talk to each other, and we would discuss the situation, and then we would figure out what best suited the team and what best suited the project.
At the end of the 6-month process, we've become a lot closer than we were to start.
We've also learned that sometimes you have to put aside your ego and admit that you are slightly wrong.
We, as a team, we came through a lot of problems, and we did help. Our coaches and mentors helped, and we personally each did our part in overcoming these problems, and we came out and became one of the top 3 teams.
Usually what would happen is we would fight over each other, like over who was right, and then we'd have to give it off to the coaches or the mentors or just all those other support people because we could not decide it for ourselves.
What was the nature of the discussion whenever you changed from a state design to the national design?
When we changed from the state design to the national design, there was a lot more factors that came into play with the system of the aircraft, and we just talked about a lot of the variables that we could change with the wing. We felt pretty confident in our tail design, so we decided to focus a lot on our wing design, and we just tried to look at it as a whole instead of the small picture. Try to look at the big picture and see it toward the end instead of just getting caught up in what we were doing at the time.
What would have made the problem harder?
If we had to fly the planes ourselves. But seriously, I think what would have made it harder is maybe having us build the whole entire plane, like the fuselage, everything like that, and then also maybe varying the airspeed or taking off from the ground, turning in flight, things like that.
Probably the main thing would be like if there was no tutorial videos that we could go through, because otherwise we'd be pretty in bad shape.
Also, once again, our mentors played a huge role in our process, and without them, we would have had a lot more problems.
With the, you presented the project management schedule, one of the first slides, and names were assigned with responsibility. What did you do when one of those line items was falling behind?
We told them to hurry up and get it done.
Okay, let me just clarify. They would call you nonstop and tell you to hurry up and get it done.